Hey y'all, welcome to tonight's live cast. If this is your first live cast with me, I'm Natasha Hazlett, and I help entrepreneurs from around the world get the clarity, confidence, and strategies that they need to boost their income and their level of influence in the world without working longer hours. And tonight I'm going to talk directly to some of my specifically my friends and my followers in direct sales. So this is it's actually been a while since I have done kind of a marketing training and branding training. So I've been doing so much more on mindset, personal development, and today I had the pleasure of talking with two folks in direct sales. One's a client, one's a good friend. And two different kind of scenarios came up, and I thought to myself, this would probably be something pretty good to share with everyone else that's in direct sales. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So the first thing that I'll talk about is the fact that I was talking to a friend, and she's in direct sales, and a situation came up where she got wind of the fact that someone was introduced to a direct sales opportunity and by a certain individual, and then chose to join the opportunity with someone else. And there was a lot of just harsh feelings about this situation. It's not fair. This person introduced the person to the company. How could they just go and join with someone else? That's just so wrong. You know, so-and-so gave them all the information about the company and everything. They wouldn't know anything about it unless it was for this one person. Then they go off and join with someone else. And so this is the advice that I gave my friend on this topic. And it wasn't something that happened to her. It was actually something that happened to someone that she knew. So, but she was really upset about it. And she said, I can't believe that this is how this operates, and how could people be so mean? And you know what? It's a fair feeling. It's a totally fair feeling. In fact, I remember several times when this actually happened, when I was in direct sales way back when. And it can hurt because you invest a bunch of time in trying to answer a prospect's questions and give them all the information they need, and then how do they reward you? They freaking jump ship and go with someone else. That's so irritating. But here's the flip side. And I asked her for permission to give her a different perspective. And so here is the different perspective that I shared with her. You've got to think about it from the prospect's point of view. They want to have the very best shot of knocking it out of the park in the company that they join. And so there's a really good chance that they may be going sponsor shopping. And so if they choose to join with someone else, 99.9% of the time is because there is a perceived benefit that that person had over you. And it's business. If they think that someone else can give them a strategic advantage, that's what they're going to do. And I told my friend, I said, look, believe me, people know that we've got a big list. People know that we have a lot of experience in direct sales. So it's no surprise that people are emailing us on a regular basis saying, have you heard of this new latest, greatest company, like with your a list of your size and everything? You can knock it out of the park. And I'm like, I don't even know you. Why in the world would I join with you? Like, I don't even know you. And besides that, I am looking to blow things up in a business. Like I'm not looking for direct sales, by the way. Please don't send me any offers. But just hypothetically, playing through this scenario, and back when I was in direct sales, if I wanted to join an opportunity, I'm going to see who can give me the best resources. What is the best strategic alliance for me to join up with to really knock it out of the park? Okay? It's not the rule that the first person that introduces that they're somehow obligated to join with you. And I remember that was the mindset that I was in when I first tried to, when I was first in direct sales. But after being able to sponsor over 150 people into our businesses, all of a sudden we had a different skill set, and we were looking for strategic partners if we were going to join up in a company. And so I went to a totally different mindset. Does that make sense? And so here's the thing, like, instead of feeling, and I don't want to invalidate anyone's feelings, that like it does suck. It totally sucks when you invest the time. I totally get you. But here's the lesson in it, and this is something that I've been talking about over the past week on these lives. When crap happens, you got to think, like, what is the lesson in this for me? Like, how can I grow? How can I be better as a result of this? And so here is the lesson that I told my friend to get from this situation and to share it with her friends that were placed in this situation. Why not be a better person? Why not be the leader that people want to follow and join up with? Why not put yourself in that position? Why not be the person that your follower feels like, yeah, that person could give me a strategic advantage? That means you just got to put yourself in a better position than you're currently in. Because if someone is joining other people over you, it's because that means it's time, that's a cue to you to level up your game, okay? So don't feel bad about it. It's totally okay. But now you have got to put yourself in that position of being a better, even better version of yourself so that other people want to follow you, okay? Are y'all following me on that? Does that make sense? Okay. So Mia says, I relate it to real estate. I have people, friends, use me to show houses, and they use another agent. That's different. Well, no, you know what, Mia? Like, really, if I look at it, I think it's the same thing. So the question that I would be asking in the real estate context is, what extra value could I be offering to that person? Like, what is, and I would want to know, if they decided to go with someone else, I'd want to kind of know why. Because I'm going to tell you, when agents have been, we had one agent here in Idaho who was absolutely amazing, bent over backwards for us, especially right when we were living in Tennessee. And I will tell you, like, there's no way I would buy a house from anyone else. And so that tells me that that's an opportunity for you to figure out, like, what can you do differently so that they have that sense of loyalty to you. So that's an opportunity, in my opinion, Mia, to build better loyalty. So that's what I told my friend. I'm like, so now you need to put yourself in a better position. And how can you do that? Well, that brings me to what I was talking about with my client this morning, who is in direct sales. And she wants to grow her direct sales organization, but she also wants to do that via blogging. And so she wants to start a blog. And one of the things that we talked about, because the process that I use with my clients, in part, it's a 7-step process, and it's called a Savvy Business Blueprint. But the very beginning, we start talking about who is the ideal client, who do you want to attract in your business. And then the next part is, what is your unique selling proposition? And this is really important in the realm of direct sales, and quite frankly, Mia, in real estate as well. There's so many real estate agents, right? There's so many people that are in direct sales that are selling the same thing that you're selling. Plus, they may also be in a different company but selling the same things, right? And so how do you make yourself different? And so this particular client was going to start a blog. And when I asked her, how are you unique, she wasn't quite sure. And I said, well, in the context of blogging, like if you're going to become a personality blogger, so she is actually going to do kind of the mommy blog thing. And she's, as she calls it, it's a crunchy Christian mom blog. So she's all into natural stuff, and she's a woman of faith. And there are others that are like her out there. So I said to her, well, your unique selling proposition is going to be you and your voice and the way that you do stuff on your blog, the way that you talk about things, the things that you talk about, the way you put your spin on things. And I just got the sense from speaking with her that she really wasn't even sure of what her voice would be as a blogger. And so I gave her some suggestions, and I want to share those with you. These are some of the things that I actually talk about in my upcoming book, Unstoppable Influence. And it'll be ready in the fall for those of y'all that have been following me. I'm super excited about it. It's officially with the editor. Hooray! But one of the chapters is dedicated to finding your voice and your message. And for me, this was probably like way harder than anything else that I've ever done. And the reason is, when I got started blogging, I was just trying to figure things out. And so what do you do when you try to figure things out? You start to model other people. And I'm going to tell you that modeling other people is and things that work is really smart. However, it has to be for a limited amount of time when it comes to finding your voice. But for me, I got stuck in that too long. I was just a kind of a Me Too person. There was nothing really that different about me. And I didn't really realize that or recognize that until years and years later. And I welcome the journey. I'm glad I went on this journey. If I didn't face this struggle of trying to find my own voice, I wouldn't have anything to say about it in my book, right? So I totally do not begrudge the journey that I went on to find my voice and find my message. And this is what I told my client. I said, you're going to enjoy this process of finding your voice and finding your message. It's a journey. But there were a couple of things that I told her to do. And the first one was really freaking scary and hardcore, okay? And I am so impressed that she said, done, I'm going to do it. So, hey Sarah. So here is what I told her to do. I said, when I was looking to really start to find my true voice, I came across an article where a woman said that the best way that she found her voice was by doing 100 videos. 100 videos. Now, this was before Facebook Live, okay? But she did 100 videos, and by the 101st video, she knew her message. She knew her voice. And so that is what I encouraged my client to do. I said, look, you want to go hardcore? You want to figure this out? 100 videos really isn't all that much when you think about it. It's like what, like a little less than 3.5 months? Y'all, I took how about 3.5, 4 years to find it out what my voice was. I would gladly take 3.5 months of a journey. And so I told her, let's do it. Let's do this. And better yet, don't mess around with doing just video. Do a Facebook Live, because that's going to force you to just get out there and do it. And she said, yes, she's going to do it. And you're going to start to realize in the first 10 or so, you're not going to really feel comfortable doing it at all. You're going to feel like what you're saying is really dumb or doesn't make sense. And you're going to realize that people actually like what you're saying. No one's going to think you're foolish. No one's going to judge you at all. And you're going to start to get feedback. And all of a sudden, you're going to start to have more ideas. And one of the suggestions that I gave to her, because she's a woman of faith, is I said, you know what? Use this as an opportunity to be a vessel for God. And so, just pray, meditate before you go live, and then just let it rip. Let it rip. You would not believe how many people have told me, what you said on this live cast was exactly what I needed to hear. And so that's really awesome, right? And it's because I allowed myself to be the vessel and just share the message. I didn't have it all perfectly planned out. And I said, believe me, friend, when after 100, you're going to have your go-to topics. You're going to have your go-to things you want to talk about, that you enjoy talking about. And that is where you're going to start to find your voice. You're going to start to feel more comfortable. So she's doing this 100-day video challenge. She's going to do it on Facebook Live. And the second thing that I told her to do was to create a manifesto. And I am going to post on my Facebook page my personal manifesto. This was something that really also helped me to figure out my voice and who I was. I started off with a list of probably 50 to 60 things that I believed. Some of them came from quotes. Some of them came from Bible verses. Some of them came from things that people told me. Some of them just came from, just within. And I kind of whittled them down to the most important ones. And that became my manifesto. And a lot of other people, when I posted my manifesto, they're like, I want that as my manifesto. I'm like, good, cool, take it. It's yours. I got lots of people that actually have my manifesto on their desk. So I have it printed out, a little one. I've got a big one. In fact, we'll be doing a canvas of, I've got my own personal manifesto, and I have the one for the Unstoppable Influencer manifesto. I'm going to get those blown up on a canvas. Super excited about that. This is what I believe, and this is how I operate. And so one of the things that I told her to do, and I'm actually going to do this, I promised her that I would do this with her, starting tomorrow, is I'm going to actually do Facebook Lives on each sentence of my manifesto, so that why did I put these individual things on my manifesto? Why do I think they're important? How have they impacted my life? And I was like, I got quite a few on here, so I should be good to go for quite a while, at least a few weeks. So in doing that, that's another way to really find your voice and find your message. And so I told her also, last little tidbit here, I said, this is a journey that you have to embrace. And once you have your voice, once you have your message, first of all, you're going to have people, if you do it right, you're going to have some people that love you and some people that don't love you. That's okay. You want more people to say, yeah, I resonate with her. Oh, yeah, I resonate with that. Oh, yeah, I believe that too. And from a direct sales standpoint, from a selling standpoint, when this happens, like, people start to get closer and closer and closer to you. So then they're going to actually want the opportunity to buy from you. Why? Why would they want to buy from you? Because they want to get closer to you. They want to be more in your space. This is where it all comes down to being the kind of person, the kind of leader, the kind of influencer that people want to follow. Does that make sense? Are y'all with me on this? And this is the problem with, a lot of people when you start off in direct sales. It's all about me. Me, 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 me. Support my business. Do this for me. And, I need this. I need you to do that. And you know what? Like, that's going to only work for this much. People are looking to be inspired. People are looking to be influenced in a positive way. Really, it's not about you. It is about them. And once you start leading with a servant, more of a servant focus, how can I serve? How can I help my audience get where they want to go? That is where you're going to start to build the following, okay? And I told my client, I said, guess what, friend? This ain't going to happen overnight. You got to commit to this. This needs to be something that, like, you are going to continue to do this for a minimum of a year. That's a minimum. Really, I should have just said 3 years, okay? That's how the level of commitment you need to have. And I said, within 60 days, you'll have at least, I promise you'll have at least one order as a result of the videos that you are posting. You'll probably have more, but I'm just going to set the bar low at one. And then you're going to start to have more. And then there's going to be a snowball effect because you're building value. Does that make sense? So you have to be the kind of person that people want to follow. And so if it's all about you and your thing and growing your organization, that's, people are not, they'll only be into it for a very little amount of time. This is all about what you can do for other people and to fill them up and to pour into them. Okay? So, and I told my friend that this is a journey that you're going to go on. And this is a much better way of finding yourself. Because a lot of people are like, I don't know who I am. I need to find myself. So I'll ponder that for a little bit. I'm going to ponder and find myself. Yeah, that doesn't work. Trust me, it does not work. You're not going to just get in the space of finding yourself. You got to take action. And the process of doing this video challenge that I encourage my client to do is taking action. This process of creating a manifesto of her own personal beliefs, that is an action. She is actively on a journey to peel back the layers and to put herself out there and to jump outside of her comfort zone. And this process is going to help her to not only uncover her message and uncover her voice, but also it's going to create a tribe of people that are going to resonate with her message. They're going to want to be closer and closer to her. And as a result of that, they're going to want to do business with her, whether it means being one of her customers or whether it means being one of her team builders. But you got to know who you are. You got to be the person that people want to follow. And if you do that, in the case of my friend that brought to me the challenge of people wanting to sponsor shop and join with other people, guess what? That's not going to be an issue because you're going to have people lining up to do business with you. I know this because we've had people lining up to do business with us. This is the best way to build your organization, and because you're going to have a team of people that you haven't had to coerce and drag, and your Aunt Susie and your cousin and your sister that had no interest and they're just joining you out of pity. Those people are never going to thrive. The people that are going to thrive in your organization and want to run with you and to build an amazing organization, those are the people that believe in you and want to follow you and learn from you. And so that is what the goal is in all of this, is to be the kind of person that people want to follow. And to find your message, you're just going to have to put yourself out there and enjoy the journey. Don't worry about judgment. Don't worry about what other people think. Just be you. All right. So man, I had a lot to say on that apparently. So do y'all have any questions for me? Let me know if you have any questions. And I hope all my friends that are in direct sales enjoyed this little message, because I haven't talked about this. I haven't really talked about that direct sales strategies. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and thank you for joining me, and stay tuned, because I will be talking to tomorrow about how the first line of my personal manifesto, which is that I am on a mission to transform thousands of lives. So come along for the ride, or get out of my way. That is the first line of my manifesto, and that is what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. So y'all stay tuned. Make sure that you turn on the notifications for when I go live, because you're not going to want to miss them. And thanks for joining me. I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends.